Good morning, friends. Welcome. It's Anna here, and we are starting a new journal today. As I promised yesterday in my little show and tell video, I'm just getting my notepad ready here to make notes of the measurements and so on. Let's get rid of the sweater because I'm in the stage of life when you suddenly get quite hot. So I don't want to get uncomfortable. This journal is quite old. It's antique. This book. I mentioned yesterday I did some research on how old it was because it didn't have a publishing date in it. And I believe that this edition was published somewhere between 1890 and 1900. But I'm not exactly sure. I have been researching both the author and the publisher. And that's the closest I could get. So when I start my new junk journal, I always start by gutting the book. And as you can tell, this book has done most of the job for me. So that's half the job. And let's see if I can just tear this out without, so that's the book gutted without even taking out my knife. And I actually want those pages out as well. I'm quite careful because I do not want the spine to break, and this is glued down a bit better than the rest of the book. You can see that it is lifting a bit there. Ooh, I'm not sure that this will cooperate. Yeah, it does. This spine will need some reinforcement. And we are happy to oblige, right? Let's just jank this out. Oh, this paper is in horrible shape, so this will probably, if I use it, it will be for backing something. Anyway, here's some nice ink splatter here. And they just glued some paper down. No real end papers. No pretty ones anyway. And yeah. So let's just dust it off and see to the what's the light. It's actually in better shape than I thought it would be. The hinges are quite okay, and this might have been mended at one time. When I'm looking at it, I don't know, but I want to see if I can get some of the paper here to lift, so it doesn't lift when I glue down my end papers later. That would not be good. What's this? Oh, it's the hinges of the book. They are sewn in, and then the threads are going. Oh, I will save this. This could go back into the book. Cool. Lately, I actually like using the book guts and things like that and put back into the book. I think that's quite cool. Yeah. So I will just try to get rid of anything that lifts up here. Like this. Let's see if I can or something. Still, I don't want to harm the bookboard itself, so it's a bit had to be bit delicate, your touch, and still, and see the difference between what is okay to take away and what is not okay. So, this kind of stuff I want to get rid of, because it can bubble up when you get the glue seeps down to it, and then it gets all messy. So that kind of stuff I want to get rid of. And so this book is not one of a kind. It's not. This is a book that has been published over and over again, and it's even considered to be a classic for kids. So it's been republished many times, and this is not the first edition. So it's not a rare book, and it's not going to what I'm doing here, in my opinion, is that I'm giving the book new life as a junk journal, and to be loved again for many years, hopefully. So let's get rid of that. I want to reinforce this spine, even though it is in quite good condition. I still want to put some fabric on just to make it last a bit longer. Here I have an old pillowcase, I'm guessing. I buy vintage pillowcases with the big embroideries on them to use in my journal, on my journals and in my journals. And then when I remove the big lovely embroideries, there's lots of pillowcase left, and I tend to use it to do things like this, because I like to use everything. I don't like to throw things out. That much I think I need. And not too much. So let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of the fraying before gluing it down. I'm just taking my I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, but this is almost finished, this bottle, so I'm just putting it upside down in my pen mug so that the glue flows a bit easier. So if you wonder what the noise was, I'm just going to glue that down. Let's get rid of some stuff. But before I do that, I want to measure the book. No, I don't. I want to glue that down first. I'm just seeing some more lifting here. Should have kind of a knife to scrape with instead, but I don't have one right now. So let's glue this down then. I have to be buying more Fabri-Tac soon. That will probably be enough. And I am using my silicone makeup brush, lovely, to spread the glue, because they are so easy to clean. As you can see here, it's lifting a little bit, so I want to make sure that stays down. And I will put my fabric down. This is quite a curved spine, this book. So and it's quite stiff actually. Now I want to glue down the little wings that suddenly appeared. once again, I'm going to use my little silicone makeup brush to spread the glue to avoid lumps, and then I just pat it down. I will push down harder soon, but I want to get it in place first. Once again, using the Fabri-Tac. If you hear some strange screams and noises, it's just my son. He's playing Minecraft with his friends again, and they don't always get along, and sometimes they get quite excited. And they are talking on Discord, so sometimes I feel like they don't need Discord, they will hear each other anyway, because they scream so loud. Anyone else got kids about 12, 13 that's doing this? Let me know in the comments down below so that I'm not alone. To be the only crafter that will have to endure my kids screaming when I want to make a film. So, quite pleased with that one actually. Turned out quite well. Now I have to remember, yeah, that was up. I'm going to make a small F here and a small B there and some arrows, because I will forget what's front and back, because it's nothing on the spine to show me. So, and now I am going to do what I almost always do. I take the text block and I put it back in. Sometimes if I have used lots of glue here, I cover it in plastic first. Then I make sure it's all the way into the spine. And then I'm going to put this in on the edge of my desk like that. And I'm going to put lots of heavy books upon it. But the spine will be outside, hanging off the edge like this. And that will make sure that the book remembers that it has hinges and that it has beautiful curved spine. But first I want to do my measuring. I have a little book here and old paper blanks where I write down my books and how big they are, and when I start them and when I finish them, and how many signatures and who bought them and everything. Kind of a little record for myself. So this one was called the Coral Island. I'm guessing it will have a new name soon. And I don't know the copyright date, but I'm saying 1890 to 1900 and a question mark. Then I want to measure it. So I live in Sweden, if you don't know, and I use the metric system. So I will be measuring in centimeters. And this one is, let's say, 19 centimeters by 13 centimeters. No. Yes, 13 centimeters. And then it has a spine. Of course it has a spine, duh. And that is 1.5. So it's a small spine. I might get 5 signatures in here, but I doubt it. It depends on how chunky I make them. And the inserts can be 18.5 by 12.5. So now I always do this because I want to know. Then if I have extra information about the book, I write it down as well. So now I will go and put this into under pressure, so to say. And since we only have about 15 minutes, I can continue to work on the signatures for this one as well. I will be using pages from the original text block, but since I want to use it to make the spine remember, I will pick them out later. So let me go put this away and take out some papers, and I will be right back. And I'm back. I didn't have time to pick out as many things as I usually would do, but we will of course start with tea-dye papers. And I'm going to cut this into size. Oh, just wanted to get some sip of water here. Sorry for the rattle. I want my Fiskars cutter, and those will have, the inserts should be 18.5 centimeters tall, so I will cut them the height first, about here, and then I wanted them to be 12.5, 12.5, and then I will use my bone folder just so I'm in frame. I am good. I use my bone folder to go along the edge here, and that makes it into a scoreboard instead. So I'm scoring my papers. So that will be the size of the papers, and this one is a little bit ripped, so I will cut that off. But some of them I will save to make into flips, because I love using flips. This should be the correct size, and I am going to start by doing 5 signatures, just because I hope I can get 5 into the book. And once again, 18.5, that, and then a little score at 12.5, like that, and fold. And this one I will fold back so that I have flip. And I'm still filming. So I'm guessing you wanted to have some lunch, but that will have to wait a little bit longer. I want to get started a bit more on this book. And this book I have the intention of doing everything on camera, the whole process of the book, start to finish. Of course things can happen, but that's my intention, just so you know. And it's not a tutorial, it's just my way. I'm showing my way of doing things. Okay. Excuse me for a second. It was just my dogs. The neighbors got into their car. They heard the car door and they wanted to warn me that something was going on. Maybe Daddy was coming home or something, but nope. Just the neighbors. And I don't mind that doesn't get the same width, because I love using different sizes of papers in my journals. That's one of my absolute favorite things. I think it makes them more interesting. So, cut that off. And I don't want to bulk the book up too much, but I am going to make, I can always cut the flips off later, right? I'll try another way. So folding, I'm scoring twice. So now we have 5 tea-dye papers. I took out one of those. It's vintage notebook paper, and it's too big. I was planning on just folding it. Maybe I can fold it that way. I'm just gonna put it in the pile for now. I have one of those tiny little ledger thingies you used back in the days, and I believe this is kind of the right size, so I'll take out one of those. I have this is small. It's like cards that went into envelopes, and if you look quite closely you can see the envelope has dyed it a bit, so I'm going to put that in. Nice quality paper as well. Here's another tiny small ledger. I want to cut a page out of this. I can use some of those. It's already torn a bit. I can fold it in half. So this is some extra pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more, and then we have some extra writing space. I'm just checking my cabinet here for some more pages. I want grid paper, I think, because I have lined, and this is really old, really old. I'm just gonna take that one out. I find those kind of books and things thrifting all the time, so let's just fold them. This one is the right size. 1, 2, 3. This one we have to cut down a bit, I think. 19, no, 18 and a half. And then just fold it in the middle. And then there's this one. Do I want it to be short page, or do I want it to be page? I want it to be a short page. I'm gonna cut it 8.5. And those could be extended as well. So that's another 5. Now I have 2 pages per signature. I have a few book pages. This is a book from the 1900s. Let me see. I've used the cover to make a book, a journal already. I save the book guts, the text block. If there's pages that I want to put back into journals, I save them, and then I write the year on the spine of the book so that I know how old it is. Because if I know, I tend to write down, like here I have a signature already. I tend to take a pencil and write in the corner how old it is, in case someone wants to know how old it is, or for the flip through. And if you buy the book and you don't like it, you can just erase it. But I always enjoy knowing how old the book is. And that was a German book. I love the font on those old books. I really love them. Here's another oldie, 1835. This is a medical book. Let me see if I have a... This is rag paper. This is old. I can barely read it myself. Let's get that. This one will probably need some reinforcing. And for that I use my washi tapes, and I often do it at a little later stage. 1935. And I found this. I believe this belonged to someone in my husband's family. It has been an old reader for school, but the leather is so soft. It's somewhere along the line it has fallen apart, but you can see here, I think there has been bookworms in this book at some point. I don't know. Someone put a little something there and wrote something, and this will be a beautiful journal one day, but for now I'm just using the papers because there's no way of knowing what this book was and anything. So I am going to use some pages. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is about Rome. And oh, Emperor Augustus. Let him go into the book like that. So, and I don't know the date for that one. So, is this one big enough? Since those are the perfect size, I can measure. Yes, it's gonna fit just fine. And this one is also going to fit just fine. Cool. Now I just need a few more pages of that as well. And pages from the original text block and some lovely images. This is how I do my inserts. I want at least one tea or coffee dyed paper in the signatures. I want something else to write on. I want book pages, and I want pages from the original text block, and something decorative. It's kind of a formula, if you like. Sometimes I use postcards, sometimes I use other things, but yeah. So that is as far as I will go with this book today. We will continue to work on the signatures later, and yeah, because I want to get the book out of the pressure, out of the book press, I almost said. I want to get it to dry a bit, and then I want to take it out, and I'm going to check the signatures and see how much I can get in there. Yeah, so sorry, lots of old papers here. I get them all dry in the mouth. That will be it for today, actually. So we started working on the book, The Coral Island. I am inclined to call it Cora because it's Coral Island, but I don't know. Maybe, we will see. I have to put something on the cover as well. Yeah, if you enjoy this video, rambling, chatting, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or ideas or something you want to tell me how your day is. How's your Sunday? Write it down below in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed already, I would be very happy if you did. I publish content like this. I do craft with me's and flip throughs and thrift hauls and all kind of things here on my channel. All things are junk journal related. Yeah, that's it for today. Have a great day. Bye.